Well, howdy and welcome back once again to the Withlacoochee River Report. The report where, well, you're often highly offended by my compelling rhetoric. Well, I finally did a little work on the railroad. As you can see, I finally put in that siding, and I finally have a place to route my tank cars to, the local fuel oil dealer. And it's looking about 100% better. I've also added a little bit of scenery, as you can see. Not much, but you know, I feel like I accomplished something by coming out here and actually doing some work on the railroad for a change. And it's finally warm enough to actually do it. Well, I tell you, we've either got cold weather or we got wet weather lately, and the wet, of course, is driving me up a wall. Yeah, I did a little scenery work up here. I still got to glue most of that down and put down a little bit more ground cover and stuff of that nature. But I got paint down and stuff like that, and of course that's probably what's going to hold most of that ground cover in at the moment. Sure does look better with a little bit of scenery around that barn, doesn't it? Worked mostly tonight on cleaning up the railroad and cleaning up in here a little bit. Just getting a little bit fed up with, you know, coming in here and finding things like dead birds on the railroad, you know, from freezing to death and stuff of that nature. That kind of drags on you after a while. Yeah, tonight again I'm running my CB and Q F3s. I didn't feel like switching out a bunch of rolling stock tonight, so I'm just still basically running the same train I ran on the last report. Yeah, having the scenery go back from where it was before, it sure looks a lot better. You know, you can get a good viewing of the yard now, and now it looks like it's beginning to gel a little bit. I got to admit, I like that. Next order of business is going to be to fix up the yard facilities over, or the engine facilities over here a little bit. I'm still debating now. I've already got a switch put in over here to run over to the, you know, that's the turntable switch, and of course I'm going to have to add in a little bit more railroad here and a little bit more plywood. But once it's in over here, I can of course I'll set up the coaling tower and probably a diesel fuel oil facility and stuff of that nature, since I'm kind of modeling the transition era, or the tail end of the transition era. I still love my steam engines, but I'm getting back to the point where I love my diesels just every bit as much. Yeah. Well, I got to add a little more scenery in over here. And I may do that rather quickly. In other news, we finally got the septic tank pumped out, only to find that I had a hole in it, and I was running some water in the yard the other day and found water going into the septic tank. Well, now that might be a reason it's filling up so quick. Well, I covered that hole up because I didn't have any concrete. So I go and I buy some concrete, right? And then when I go to look for the hole, I can't find it anywhere. Well, darn. I guess it's going to stay covered up for a while. I guess it's probably been like that for 20 years. This is the only brass caboose I've got. This is the only piece of brass I own, is this Canadian Pacific caboose. I picked it up cheap, so it was in pretty bad shape when I got it. But it gave me some valuable experience in working with brass that I didn't have before. And now if I ever end up with another brass project, I pretty well, know what to do now. Well, that pretty well wraps it up for this report. Until next time, Happy railroading.